So we're back at Edric again, because do you know what you should do when you're tuning a deck? If you're going through some cards, taking some out, putting some in, you should review the damn mana base. I don't need this. I was goldfishing with Edric after, and he's got a big problem where he doesn't like to give me fucking colors. And having things like this does not help. So his current mana base is 37 cards. How many? 2, 3, 4. 4 produce colorless. So Alchemist Refuge. Oh, there it is. Reliquary Tower. High Market and Yevmaya Hollow all produce colorless. So they do not help me get things. And I need green or blue as quickly as possible to get things down. It's a small creature deck. I need to go as fast as possible. So let's look at the rest of the cards are pretty much balanced evenly. I've got 11 forest, I've got 11 islands, I have a breeding pool, command tower, fabled passage to find whatever basic land I'm missing that I need, flooded grove, I've got Oberon Palace in the Clouds, I've got Gaia's Cradle, Pendelhaven, Yevmaya Coast. So the colored bits are pretty evenly distributed. And the mana costs are also pretty evenly distributed. But these aren't really helping me. At least this one isn't. So let's look at the lands that produce colorless. And see if I need them. Alchemist Refuge. I've never ever used this ability in any game where I've had Edric out. When I've been playing Edric that I can remember. I have no memory of ever using that ability. That said, I also don't remember ever getting this card down in play, so maybe that's a problem. If I don't get in play, I can't use the ability. But if I don't use the ability, and the deck works fine, I probably don't need it. Reliquary Tower, you have no maximum hand size. If Edric gets going, I have a lot of cards in my hand. And I don't want to throw any away. I'm not playing that rebuild of Sig where I get bonuses for discarding things. So I'm willing to sacrifice the color for... Actually, you know what? I should put a Joiner Adept in here. Shit, I should take out something and put a Joiner Adept in this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is the Joiner Adept, and I've got an original foil from 5th Dawn, and it was sitting in the binder because I think it's cool. I used to play it. I used to have one from either 8th or 9th edition too, and maybe it's 10th. Anyway, and for some reason I quit playing them. This one's kind of rough though. She's been around for a while. She's taken some hits. Anyway, 1 in the green. For 2/1. Okay, right there, she's in Edric territory. She's 1 toughness, so Tatsuko Umezawa will make her unblockable. She costs 1 in green, so she comes down relatively quickly. She says, land you control, tap for 1 mana of any color. So she's perfect. She will do what I need to get done if I draw her. So, now I need to figure out what the fuck I'm going to take out for her. I love that part. Oh, I love that part so much. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Reliquary Tower. Joiner Depths down. It will tap for green or blue, whatever I need. So no maximum hand size. Edric, if he's working, I'm drawing a lot of cards. I don't want to throw them away, so I want to keep that. So I need to keep looking at the mana base. Look at the 3 cards that produce color, and then Gaia's Cradle. So effectively, I have 36 lands because Gaia's Cradle does nothing unless I have a creature. It's just there. 2 of them are fetch lands: Fabled Passage and Misty Rainforest. So everything else produces colorless, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that can produce either or. So I've got 5 that produce green or blue or green, and I've got 2 fetch lands that can find Well, Fabled Passage can only find blue or green, because I can only find the basic land. Misty Rainforest can find the breeding pool, so I can get either or. So I'm now looking at two different things. I'm looking for something to take out for Joiner Adept, and I'm looking at the other lands that produce colorless to make sure that I need them in the deck, because one of them, High Market, maybe I don't need. Maybe I'm not that worried about it. So let's take a look. In fact, probably don't need the High Market. I mean, sacrifice creature, get 1 life out of it. Probably should take that out. Okay, Master Waves makes a lot of creatures. Etherize saves on my ass. He makes more creatures. She will bounce 1 thing back to my hand. No. Scrub Ranger. People ask me what the hell I have this in here for. Well, pretty much for the Guy's Cradle. If you can tap Guy's Cradle for 6, and then spend 1, and tap for another 6, that's value. That's what you get for shopping smart. Okay, Scrub Ranger. Flying protection from blue. I don't want to take that out for the Joiner Adept. So she looks like she's going to be fun to play, but she does require blue and green. 2/1 flyer, so she has evasion. Joiner Adept has no evasion, unless Tetsuo Gonzalez is in play, when, in that case, everybody has evasion for the most part. So whenever a player casts a spell, okay, I'm going to put her to the side as possible, but kind of want to keep her because I want to see how she works. This does double duty. This fogs, and it gives me a bunch of creatures to counterattack with and draw cards from Redrick. Same with this guy. This guy, I really want to play him. When he attacks, I get to shut down an artifact creature or planeswalker until my next turn. That sounds pretty good. And if it's a creature, it becomes weak and small. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I just want to keep my beta script sprites in here. Green 1/1 flyer, Groundskeeper. I just put the Groundskeeper in here. I explained why he's in here. So he's in here because if I start sacrificing lands to the Sylvan Safekeeper, they're probably going to be basic lands. And if I've got nothing else to do with my mana, I can start getting my basic lands back. And since I have Burgeoning and Exploration, so I can play 2 cards in my turn, 2 lands on my turn with Exploration, and I can play a land on everybody else's turn that they also play a land with Burgeoning. Returning the lands to my hand is going to be okay. It's going to be something I want to do. And if I'm drawing a lot of cards, Burgeoning and Exploration allow me to get them done faster. Okay, this produces colorless, but green regenerate target creature. That's pretty good. Here's the Burgeoning. Where any opponent plays a land. Okay, island, forest, I'm keeping those. I kind of want to take this out because it's annoying. It's annoying to keep track of. It's annoying for my opponents, but if I'm bouncing lands back to my hand out of my graveyard, I should always have a land to play, so I should be able to overwhelm people with this swarm. It'd be funny if somebody had a coat of arms and I had this son of a bitch in play. That'd be hilarious. It comes into play, bounce a creature. I've got Equilibrium, and I've got Venser, Shaper Civil. This is a 2/2 with no evasion. It costs 3 mana. So is this something I want? I'm not sure. Maybe it's time to rethink the mana war, so we'll set him aside. Script Sprite, nope. Flying protection, red, any protection is relevant at some point. 1/1 flyer, yeah, that's good. Yeah, this thing has proven itself. Look, I've got all these little weak creatures. I'm attacking you. Okay, I take the damage. Oh, look, bang! They're all +10, +10. I guess I win. Yeah, some shit like that. Cloud of Fairies comes to play. Tap up to 2 lands. Exploration, Equilibrium. Let's see. And the fucking battery's going to die. Alright, so where was I? Oh yeah. Mana War. Maybe it's time to take that out. Maybe I don't need it anymore. I don't know. Comes to play, return target. I've got Brazen Borrower. It is cool, that old Visions card though, and I did get a German version specifically for Edric. At some point I started getting German cards, putting them in Edric, and he just snowballed from there. So I think about 10% of the deck is German. I've got about 10 German cards. Gives it a nice, interesting feel. You know, Sonnen Ring. Okay, keeping the Soul Ring. Fetch land, island. Vanillian Clique. 1 blue. Fleshy Flyer. Turn target non-land permanent owner controls. I've got Cyclonic Rift in here too, so I can always use the Cyclonic, and I've got bounce. It's got a ship with Capsize. I've got Capsize. I've got Brazen Barber, Capsize, Venser, Cyclonic Rift, Equilibrium. Do I really need the Mana War anymore? See, there's Capsize. And it's got Buyback. So if I have 4 mana and double blue, I can cast it and put it back in my hand. And if I've got another mana, and, you know, if I got 9 fucking mana, I can do it again. So if I have 4 ways, 3 as instants, Venser, Brazen Bar, Capsize, 3 instants that will bounce something back to somebody's hand. No, 4. Cyclonic Rift, it's a fucking instant too, isn't it? Is it instant or sorcery? I forget. It's an instant. So I've got 2 instants spells, and I've got 2 creatures. So I think Mana War is kind of overkill. I think I answered the question. I think I solved it. So I'm not going to go through this anymore. I'm just going to take out Mana War for the Joiner Adept. But let's look at the other lands that produce colorless. So that produces nothing unless I have creatures, but it's so goddamn good when I do that it stays. Where are the other lands that produce in color? So there's High Market. Okay, sacrifice creature, gain 1 life. I don't really have any recursion in this deck. I don't really have any way of getting my creatures back. I have Eternal Witness. I took Genesis out because it was too slow. If the deck is working, any creatures that die should be replaced pretty quickly. The main key creatures to getting things through are Tetsuko Umezawa and Sun Quan, Lord of Wu. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at in the background here in Moxiel, the deck list. I don't have any way of getting shit back out of the graveyard other than Eternal Witness. I could put the what is she? Eternal Witness, or no, not Eternal Witness. Evolution Witness, where if she gets a counter, you can return a permanent, but I don't have anything to put counters on creatures in this deck, so there's no point in that. So do I want High Market? Do I need it at all? One of the reasons I keep it in here is I think about different ways of putting something. Like, I could put just a single Sword of Light and Shadow in the deck. This is one of my weirdest decks because almost all my other decks have significant recursion possibilities. Edric is more straightforward. He doesn't really have any. He's like, yeah, if my soldiers die, I'll just recruit new ones. So anyway, let's see if changing this land that produces colorless with an ability that I've never actually used with a land that produces both color, but comes with the 2 drawbacks. So I have to return a land to my hand, and it comes into play tapped. But if I tap a land for mana, and then I bounce this back to my hand, I play this, tap an island, play this tapped, bring the island I already used back to my hand. It's not so bad. And then if I have exploration, of course, then I can just replay whatever land I bounce back. So this is another cycle of cards that I've been taking out, I took out of a lot of decks. And this is another cycle of cards that I'm slowly reintroducing into decks. It's been, at first, I just shoved them in every deck. Oh, black-red, Rakdos Carnarium. Blue-green, bang, Simic Growth Chamber. Just no question, no thinking. And then when I started thinking about it, some of my decks, I realized I had too many lands that came into play tapped, and I started pulling them out. I started pulling back. And now, I'm looking at it, and I want a land that can produce both colors, either or. This produces both. Either or would be fine. I'd love to have another tropical island, but I don't, and I'm sure as fuck not going to spend 400 euros, whatever it's going for now, to get one. Nope. Not going to do that. And this is the only land in the deck that would come into play tapped. So I think that's okay. I think that's not going to be that much of a drawback. So let's leave Ivy in here. Let's take out Manowar. Because I remember, and also unless I have, he's going to be hard to get out. There he goes. Unless I have Allurin in play, I can only play him on my turn at sorcery speed. Okay? So, the last game that I had Manowar, I just held on to him because there weren't any good targets. There weren't anything I really needed to bounce that would have profited me. And when there was, I had to wait until my turn to do it. So if I just keep the Brazen Borrower, Venser, and the 2 other instants, and Equilibrium still allows me to bounce back creatures at sorcery speed. Looks like there's a bit of dust on this. Sorry, yeah, there's a bit of dust in that sleeve. Okay, so put in Joiner Adept for the Manowar. We'll put in Simic Growth Chamber. Simic Growth Chamber for the Alchemist's Refuge. I'll see how that works. Fucking glare.